The first thing is the dancer instrument versus the person, and sometimes when in a transition, the commitment one makes to be the dancer and to be have the total being consumed in being a vehicle for the dance to be expressed through. To relinquish that and let go of that to become the person is a kind of a death. It's an organic death, but it has to happen. But at the same token, you don't want to let go of having had the dancer experience. You want to embrace the experience because that's part of who you are. But you know, there's a lot of fear when you're letting go of something, and then you're trying to move into the next thing. You don't know what it is. So there's a really scary place that I call the bottom of the empty cup. And I invented these stages called, if you think of death, decay, fertilization, gestation, and rebirth. I actually didn't invent them. But change doesn't really happen like that. Usually there's a death of, there could be a little bit of death, there could be a job that stops, a relationship that ends. It often comes out of a crisis, and crisis in Chinese means danger and opportunity. The danger is that you don't survive a crisis, but then opportunity is only realized when the old order completely dies in chaos. So what that means philosophically is that you have to assume there's going to be a natural period of time that you're going to wallow in chaos. And so there's a lot of unknowns. The ground feels floorless. You don't really know. You know, you try to get grounded. You've always gotten grounded as a dancer in your body. Now how am I going to get grounded? Lots of things like that occur. And the main thing is to try to be centered during those periods of time. But letting go of old belief systems, old ideas, is one of the first steps in order to begin to be able to move forward, you know, mentally. That letting go in decay is sometimes a process that takes a long time. Double pirouette, and you have the feeling, and you start thinking, oops, you fell. Mm-hmm. You have to be completely present to the moment. So when you're completely present to the moment, you get ideas. It comes. It just comes from the heart. It doesn't come from the head. The head can shake. The head can look, oh yeah, I would be good as a plumber, because you know, you can kind of look at these things and then see if it resonates with heart. But things really come from the heart, and they only come in those quiet moments. Commitment, which we talked about before, commitment is a real key issue. It's making a commitment to the dream. It's making a commitment to choose this or that. It's making a commitment, you know, wherever you are at in your process, it's making a commitment to the next step. It's making a commitment. And I mean, I could sort of single you out and say, you know, see where you're at and what you're willing to make a commitment to. But that's going to be different to different people. Consistency, whether it's being consistent with your action steps, consistent with you rehearsing the pirouette over and over again, or a certain choreographic move, you know, that's how we do it in dance. But being consistent, you know, in life, whether it's networking, whether it's phone calling, whether it's, you know, with exercise, whatever it is with what you're trying to do, it's really important. You can't kind of do it without that. But clarity is important in terms of your vision, being clear about what you want, just as you have to be clear about your movement and what you look like. You have to be clear about, you know, what it is that you feel and what it is that you're shaping. And then having the courage to take a risk, to allow yourself to be silent, to allow yourself to wait. I mean, that takes courage, and courage is fear reversed. The other side of courage is fear. But when you just, again, you're present to the moment, it's a little bit easier to feel good about yourself. You know. Mm-hmm. The meditation and the massage, the movement is important because I think that keeps you internally stimulated and the energy moving inside, so you're not so prone to these stuck moments. Yeah, and it feels like a depression. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important to have some kind of exercise, whether it's yoga, something for dancers to be constantly doing. I think it's just part of our beingness. I think you have to do something. You feel much better, and what are these endorphins? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Body work is also important because body work unclogs the energy, and it moves stuff, and especially when you get out of sorts because you don't know who you are, because you're not doing something, because we attach it to doing as opposed to being. Sometimes that helps to center. Important to stay centered when you're in chaos. Important to take care of yourself, because that's how you can maneuver and you can kind of take a bump or an unexpected thing that might occur. And meditation is important. I think a lot of things happen through visualization, and I think one can spend a lot of work just visualizing and manifest.